Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we got to drill the holes for the bottom of the picture frame so we can drive these two screws up, and we're going to drill the holes in the top so we can put the little dowel rods in and that can sit on there. So we need to mark where those holes belong. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the end pieces, which are these guys here, and we're going to mark on them exactly 5/8 of an inch from this edge back. Okay, so we're going to take that with a ruler, and we're going to take it, we're going to mark 5/8 of an inch. We're going to do that on both sides of the piece, and you're going to end up actually doing that to all your tops and all the sides for your long one and your short one. Okay, so 5/8 of an inch back. And you're going to take the awl, make sure you're right in the center, which should be your seam, but if it's not, make the adjustment. You're just going to make a little dent on one side, and you're going to make another little dent on the other side. Now on one end, you're going to take your pre-drill bit, and you're going to drive that down on that little dimple you just made. And on the other side, you're going to take a 1/4 inch drill bit. This one's going to be for the dowel rods that go right there. You're going to take that and you're going to drill down a little bit. It doesn't really matter how far you go. You don't have to drill the china there. We don't need a lot. Okay. Same thing on this one. Same thing on the two tall ones. Okay. Then you're going to come over here to the bases. Now these bases, what you need is, what should happen is they need to be 6 7/8 of an inch apart. So you should have 13/16, 6 7/8, 13/16. I would like you to try to measure that. Now, the quick way to do it is if you take a piece of paper and you take the whole length of this thing on a piece of paper. I know I need 6 7/8, which is right there. And what's left over is this little piece. Now that's going to be the difference. I want the 6 7/8 holes apart, and then I want the space on the end to be divided by 2. Now I could do that with a ruler, or I could take it and fold it in half, and that kind of gives me a half. And if you do it this way, it actually works out better. That way, if you were a little bit off on the length, everything still works. So I should be able to take the halfway mark here, kind of mark it a little bit, and then I should be able to go 6 7/8, which should be this line I just drew, and then I should have that same distance left over here on the end. Now, to double check it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my marks, and I'm just going to look under a piece of light, or under a light, and I'm going to make sure that when I look through those holes, I can actually see my marks. And if I can, then I'm in the right spot. The other thing you got to do is you got to make sure they're the same distance across this way. So when you do that, do a little plus there. Make sure we're in the center here. Same deal. Take your awl, make a little mark, and you're going to pre-drill all the way through this. Now, probably the best way to do it is to go over the drill press. But because I'm sitting right here, we're just going to use this guy. And on the bottom, you're going to go all the way through. That is not the case for the top, so just be careful of that. Make sure you're paying attention to which one you're doing. So you go all the way through on the bottom. You're going to flip it over, and we're going to use our countersink bit. Now, once we have that, we can take a screw, 1¼ screw, from the countersink side, and you're going to start to drive that screw. Now, I'm only going to do half of this frame. When the tip starts to come out the other side, you can take this piece that you pre-drilled, not the 1/4 inch side, but the pre-drill side, and that should help you line it all up. And I'm going to have Greg help me out. He's going to just reach in there and hold on to that for me while I'm driving this, because if I don't, it's going to spin, and I'm just going to snug that down, and then I can come in and twist this thing. But what I should do, if I did that right, this distance here should be the same as it is right there. Same on the other side. Now I'm going to take his top, and I'm going to do that exact same process to measure and find the centers of those holes. And for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to, so I can get this done a little bit faster, I'm just going to come in here and use this. I'm going to take the 1/4 inch bit. Now, what I don't want you to do is do that. I want you to actually measure, but you can use this as your safety to kind of make sure you did it right. You're going to take this. Don't go all the way through. You just need a little bit. What we're trying to do is create these little 1/4-inch holes that are going to sit on top of these little dowel rods that we're going to put in there. Okay, so that's the objective there. Okay, so don't drill all the way through. You're going to be plugging holes. Do the same on both sides. That's ready to go on there. This gets put on the exact same way. How you put these dowel rods in is you're going to come over here to the miter saw or the bandsaw. And we're just going to cut off little pieces. We're just going to cut little pieces of dowel rod off. That should be enough. Take a little bit of glue, put it down in the hole, put that dowel rod in, and then you can go back to the bandsaw, or you can use the Dremel tool and trim that off so it looks about that length, and then you slide your tops on. And that's how you do it. The exact same process for the tall one, just everything's 2 inches closer together that way. Great? Awesome.